this environmental pollution is important. From here, you can have questions in one way or the another. Now, it's very obvious this part may be included in the bio as well, right? So the questions which are asked here are from the part in which we can discuss about the ozone hole, we can discuss about the greenhouse gases and all those things. So yes, whole are present here, kindly give me your attendance so that we can start with these particular questions. So again, I'll say this is the important part because questions are asked again and again from this session. Okay, and yes, questions may be from that ozone depletion, it may be from greenhouse gas, it may be from greenhouse effect, all those questions are asked. But what are those exact questions? Let's have a look. So the first question is here. Brass gets discolored in air due to the presence of which gas in the air? Answer please. Now my question is, when we are talking about brass, so this means, do you remember we discussed about it when we were discussing metallurgy? What was that? We were discussing alloys over there. Remember? If I talk about brass, it is made up of what? So if we'll talk about brass, it is actually made up of copper and zinc. Am I right? Let's see who will give this answer. Am I correct? Everyone who's there in the session, kindly like it and share it and start giving comments. So yes, remember I told about this where we were talking about alloys. Now in the similar manner, if I'll talk about bronze, it was the combination of what? It was copper and tin, right? In the similar manner, if I'll talk about steel, it is what? Iron, chromium, nickel, then carbon. Remember all those facts? So yes, since we are talking about brass, now if we'll just put this brass in the air, what will happen? Here it will get discolored. Now there might be some reason for it. Now what is that reason? Now for that reason, we must be aware of all these facts. What? When brass is actually there in the air. Now this means air is consisting of different other products as well. Now what is that? Air is consisting of what? So here we have nitrogen, we have oxygen also. So if I'll talk about this part, so what will happen? Here because of the reaction with this hydrogen sulfide, this will create issue for this, right? So what is that? It will get discolored. So hydrogen sulfide, that is option number B, will be correct here. Next, and everyone who is there in the session, please start answering so that I can go in the depth and discuss each and everything which is important for the examination. Okay, so there's a next question. What is it? Taj Mahal is affected by which of the following? So we have four options here. Now this is not the direct question. It is asked in the indirect manner. We discussed about it in the morning session when we were discussing about CHSL examination. There we were discussing the concept of what? Remember? Acid rain. So if I'll talk about this acid rain, this acid rain was having what? So here we had H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid. Apart from sulfuric acid, it can be HNO3. Now for this sulfuric acid, how this sulfuric acid will be made? Okay, so Vikram is here. Great. So Vikram has already given the answer, sir. It would be SO2. That's totally correct. In morning we have already discussed. Today also I have kept one of the question. So that's true. When we will talk about this Taj Mahal is affected by which of the following? So this SO2 gas, it is actually released by factories. It is released by factories. And when this SO2 reacts with water, that is the water droplets which are present in the atmosphere. So its combination gives you what? It will give you H2SO4. And that is actually the cause of acid rain. And yes, option number 8, that is SO2 is the correct answer. Totally correct, Vikram. Next. Amount of sulfur dioxide can be reduced by the use of dash. So we have four options here. Let's see who will give the correct answer. And everyone who is there in the session, kindly start giving answers. Please, waiting for the answer. Answer please. Question is, amount of sulfur dioxide can be reduced by the use of dash. So first one, by using the more efficient car engine. Second, by using catalytic converter in the industry. Third is by using static electricity in chimneys for factories to attract it. And fourth one is fuel which is containing low sulfur. So Vikram, as you have already promised, you will be giving answers for each and every question, because you will be sure in the main examination that you did wrong at that time. This time you will be correct. But you are again correct over here. The answer is fuel that contains low sulfur. So what we can do, we can actually reduce this SO2 by using the fuel which will contain the low sulfur amount. So yes, option number D is totally correct. And yes, let me tell you again, all these questions are from the previous year part. That is, previous year questions are asked here in these sessions so that you can be well aware of what kind of questions this SSC is keeping for you. Fine. So yes, this was again the previous year question, and here option number D is the correct answer. Next, burning pyrites ore will give you what? Burning pyrites ore will give you what? Answer please. Answer. Burning pyrites ore will give you what? So is it CO2 gas? Is it sulfur dioxide gas? Is it nitrogen dioxide gas? Or is it nitric oxide gas? What is the correct answer? Burning of pyrites. Answer please. And everyone who is there in the session, now please start answering. Waiting. So Vikram, your answer please. No one? See, there are two questions which can be asked from this part. If I'll talk about this pyrite, so there's a word that is known as fool's gold. What is that? Fool's gold. So what can be asked? Once the question is given in such a manner that which of the following is known as fool's gold, so there would be option for that, and that would be pyrite. Now, since we are talking about pyrite, we must be aware of what is that? That if I talk about pyrite, it is what? It is iron disulfide mineral. What is it? Iron disulfide mineral. So now, since we are talking about disulfide part, sulfide, this means you are talking about sulfur. Now, when you burn that part, when you will burn that, you will be getting what? You will be getting sulfur dioxide. And what is sulfur dioxide? SO2, the cause of acid rain as well. So please remember all those things. All the things are important and all are linked with each other. So pyrites is also known as fool's gold. And since I am talking about sulfide part over there, right? Iron sulfide. So yes, when you will burn, you will be getting from sulfide, you can relate sulfur dioxide, that is SO2. So yes, option number B, that is sulfur dioxide, is going to be your correct answer. So got my point? Vikram and all the other candidates which are there here, please let me know. Is this clear to you all? Fool's gold is also the name of pyrite. So you can even say it as a fool's gold. Fine? Okay, fine. So here we are moving forward now. Now we have Exampur official application, which is one-stop solution for all the government job aspirants. We have all these features, which includes free PDFs, then we have current affairs, all these things at a single platform. You have to do what? Just go to the Play Store, type Exampur over there, click on the install button, click on the open part, just do the registration and start using it. Okay, so we have next question is, disadvantage of using DDT as pesticide is dash. So disadvantage of using DDT as a pesticide is what? So first option is it becomes ineffective after some time. Second is it doesn't easily degrade in nature. Third one is less effective than others. And the fourth one is it is having high cost. So answer please. Vikram and all the other candidates who are present in the class, please give me the answer. Everyone, please, waiting for the answer. So Vikram is going with B. Very good. So Vikram has given the answer, sir. It is not easily degradable in nature. See, if I talk about DDT, DDT does what? These particular DDTs are they will actually accumulate. Fine. And they will not degrade easily. Because of which it creates problem in the nature. What I am saying, it will just accumulate and it is not going to degrade. So yes, we can say that they are not biodegradable in nature. So that's why we will say that it will create issue in the nature. And yes, you are absolutely correct, Vikram. It is not easily degradable. That's why it creates issue. So this is the disadvantage. Next. And yes, talking about this full form, dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane. Remember that part? So okay, let's move forward now. We have next question, and the next question is, pollutant from motor car can exhaust that causes mental disease is what? So pollutant from the motor car exhaust that causes mental disease is what? Is it lead, NO2, SO2 or mercury? What is the correct answer? Pollutant from the motor car exhaust. If I talk about this motor cars, not only motor cars, you can talk about those bikes, all the automobile parts. If they're quite old, that is 15 to 20 years old, what happens? If I talk about their fumes that are coming out, that is that smoke that comes out, it's whitish in color, right? And that whitish color smoke is very, very hazardous. So yes, Vikram is saying, sir, it would be lead, and that's totally correct. If I talk about the pollutant which is coming from the motor car, which is causing the mental disease. So not only mental disease, let me tell you, lead is the correct answer, no doubt. But apart from that mental disease, see, obviously, if I'm talking about mental disease, this means there would be there would be the issue in the brain. Apart from the brain disorder, there is also disorder in the kidney. Or you can say also cardiovascular part. So yes, please remember, it not only causes the damage to the brain, it also causes the damage to the kidney as well. So yes, lead is the correct answer over here. So pollutant which comes out from the motor car exhaust, that is lead, it causes the mental disease as well. Okay, let's move forward with the next question now. Taj Mahal is said to be suffering from marble cancer. What is marble cancer? We have four options here. What is marble cancer? So it is the smokes filling the Taj Mahal from adjoining industries. Second is acidic rain which corrodes marble. Third one is large number of fungus in the Taj Mahal marbles. And the fourth one is yellowing of marble on the account of soot particles. What is the correct answer? Marble cancer. It's not a new term, right? Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct, Vikram. If I talk about this marble cancer, please remember, this term is directly related with the acid rain. It is directly related with the acid rain, and we have understood the concept of acid rain, right? Where we can talk about SO2 gases, or you can talk about nitrous oxide gases. And again, the same concept, that is after the combination with the water, they will be giving sulfuric acid and nitric acid, because of which when these particular acids fall on the marble, it creates issue. So yes, Taj Mahal is suffering from the marble cancer, and it is because of acid rain. So acid rain which corrodes marble. Next, very good, Vikram. Next, which of the following gas is not a part of atmosphere? Nitrogen, helium, chlorine, or none of these? Question is, which of the following gas is not a part of atmosphere? Who can give this answer? Not the part of atmosphere. Vikram. Vikram is okay. Your answers are coming quite later. Which one of the following gas is not the part of atmosphere? Now, if I talk about the constituent of these particular constituent of this particular air is what? Here we have nitrogen, which is in the maximum content. That is, it is having around 78% part itself. Then, yeah, great. So here Vikram is saying that it would be helium. Vikram, are you sure it would be helium? Just have a look at the questions once again. See, nitrogen, obviously this question, this option will be eliminated. Now, none of these will come in the last part if these two options are also eliminated. Remember, if I talk about these gases, so we have nitrogen, then we have oxygen, then we have carbon dioxide, we also have hydrogen and all. So yes, if I talk about those gases which are there in the very less quantity, from that you will even get this helium part. So the only gas which is not present is your chlorine. So what is the correct answer over here? Here the correct answer is going to be C, that is chlorine. Vikram is saying sir D. No, it would be chlorine. None of these would come in very, very rare case, Vikram. Okay. Okay. Next question, please. Freon is used as a dash. Freon. Freon is used as a dash. So who can give this answer now? And everyone who is there in the session, kindly give this answer. Freon is used as dash. Waiting, please. Okay, Vikram, fine. So freon is used as dash. Is it insecticide, herbicide, fungicide, or coolant? What is the correct answer? Answer, please. Freon is used as an insecticide, herbicide, fungicide, or coolant. What is the correct answer? So Vikram is going with D, sir, as a coolant. That's totally correct. That's totally correct. If I talk about this Freon, it is used as a coolant. Now you can talk about refrigerators. You can talk about those fridges, wherever you feel like. Just remember, we are talking about coolant. That means we are talking about freons. And yes, if I talk about these refrigerators, we are even using what? Chlorofluorocarbons. Now you can relate that, right? If I'll say HCFC, hydrochlorofluorocarbon, you can relate. So yes, since we are talking about this coolant now, so there are some other questions on the nuclear chemistry. And what's that? If I'll talk about the coolant in nuclear reactors, coolant which is used in the nuclear reactor, it is what? So can you give this answer, Vikram? Coolant which is used in the nuclear reactor, what is that? Coolant in the nuclear reactor, answer please. Answer please, Vikram. I'm talking about the nuclear reactors. Remember, we discussed many things over there. There was G2O, that was heavy water. Then we discussed about those rods. Which one were they? Barium. Then we were talking about graphite rods. Remember? So yes, I want the answer. Uh, Vikram is saying, sir, radium. Radium cannot be the answer. Radium cannot be the answer. See, if I talk about this particular nuclear reactors, remember here your radium cannot be the answer. Radium, because radium is actually what? It is the radioactive element, where you can say that it was discovered by Marie Curie. Remember that part. So here actually liquid sodium is going to be the correct answer over there. But yes, we have discussed about heavy water also, right? So please remember here, if I'll talk about liquid sodium, do not forget that part. And yes, if I'll talk about the sodium, so if you will try to put the sodium in the water now, it will actually show its burning part. So yes, please remember for this question, do not forget here for the freon, it is obviously used as a coolant. If I'll talk about the refrigerators, then you can talk about this freon part, you can talk about the CFC, SCFCs. But if I'll talk about the coolants in the nuclear reactors, it is going to be different, right? Okay, so let's move forward to the next question now. Black lung disease occurs in the people working in which kind of industry? Okay, so black lung disease occurs in the people who are working in electroplating industry, organic solvent industry, paint manufacturing industry, or coal mines. What is the correct answer here? What will be the correct answer? Black lung disease. See, from the word color itself, you can try to relate with the options. Black lung disease. Obviously, lung, that means we are talking about our lungs. That is, in Hindi, we call that as फेफड़े, right? When we are talking about those respiratory organs. Yeah, black lung disease. You can try to relate that. Vikram is saying, sir, D. Oh, yeah, totally correct, Vikram. If I'll talk about black lung disease, it is actually the issue in the workers who are working in the coal mines. And we are aware of, if I'll talk about those coal mines, there is dust. And obviously, these coals are made up of what? Carbon. So this carbon will get accumulated in your lungs, right? So that is, we are talking about black lung disease over there, and it occurs in the workers who are working in the coal mines. Okay, so here D was the correct option. Next, microorganism which monitors the air pollution. Now, before getting your answer, I want to write for you all. It is very important question, because it is repeatedly asked. Microorganism which monitors the air pollution. Is it bacteria, lichen, algae, or fungi? What is the correct answer? What is the correct answer? Microorganism which monitors the air pollution. So is it bacteria, lichen, algae, or fungi? I'll give you the hint. It is actually lying between algae and fungi. So Vikram, you are going with option D, that is fungi, right? But this option is not correct. The correct answer is going to be lichen. Please remember, lichen lies between this particular algae and fungi, right? So here the correct answer, which is the correct answer, is lichen. So lichen is the monitor for the air pollution. So option B would be the correct answer. Next. So before moving forward, let me tell you there's an exam for official application, which is one-stop solution for the government job aspirants. We have live paid courses with the test series. We have free subject-wise and topic-wise quiz with the report card. Then job alert, admit card, examination date. Then we have all exam previous year PDF with the solution. Then we have free all India scholarship test with the report card. Then we have live topic-wise free live classes. Then we have free full length and sectional test with the report card, free exam wise PDF and practice set PDF, daily, weekly, monthly current affair, unlimited subject wise practice set questions, all these at a single platform. What you have to do? Just go to the Play Store, type Exampur over there, click on the install button, click on the open part, just do the registration and start using it. Okay, so we have next question here. Acid rain is caused by dash. How acid rain is actually caused? So this question has already been asked in one way or the another by twisting in one way or another, that is twisting in 2 or 3 types. So here this is the final type where we have directly asked how this acid rain is actually caused. So is it first option, second, third or fourth? What is the correct answer? Acid rain is caused by dash. What is the correct answer for this? So Vikramaditya is with D option and that is absolutely correct. So no need to explain this part, right? But still, in short, I'll explain. Since I'm talking about this acid rain, we have SO2. Apart from this, NO2 is given, that is, it is the part of this NOx also that we were talking about. Vikramaditya, absolutely correct. It would be NO2. Now, when it will react with water, what it will do? Because of the presence of moisture, it is going to create sulfuric acid. And because of the presence of moisture over here, it will create HNO3. HNO3. So this is nitric acid, this is sulfuric acid. And yes, they will create acid rain. Okay. So here we have these questions. Now, next question is, smoke of tobacco is injurious to health because it contains dash. Now, we have watched a lot of movies. In the movie starting, this particular ad is given that smoking is injurious to health. But why? So you have to tell me, smoke of tobacco is injurious to health because it contains what? Now, obviously, these all questions were previously asked. So it is important to give the answer from this. Yes, answer please. And one of the option is very common. Everyone knows about it. Yeah, totally correct. If I talk about this nicotine is actually creating issue for our body. And yes, one of the issue is that it will decrease your calcium level in your body as well, right? Okay, so this was the part which was from the pollution. Next question is, producer gas is highly poisonous due to the presence of what? Producer gas is highly poisonous because of the presence of what? So what is the correct answer over here, Vikram? And other candidates who are present in the class, kindly start giving answers. These are the important ones. Many of them are repeatedly asked in the examination. Producer gas is highly poisonous because of the presence of what? Now there must be some reason. What is it? Why this producer gas is poisonous? Vikram is saying, sir, it would be option B. That is carbon monoxide, and it is totally correct. See, if I talk about this combination of this producer gas, what it includes? It includes carbon monoxide and nitrogen, right? And we know that this N2 is not that poisonous. Now, how can we say that carbon monoxide is poisonous? Carbon monoxide is actually poisonous because it will cut the oxygen supply. How? Here we have hemoglobin. We have hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin has high affinity for this carbon monoxide. Now, affinity means what? This is chemistry term. That is, it seems as if it is quite difficult. Affinity means love and affection. That means this particular hemoglobin has love and affection towards this carbon monoxide, and because of this attachment, what will happen? When this carbon monoxide will reach hemoglobin, the oxygen supply which is there in your body, this oxygen supply will be cut. And if oxygen supply is cut, we are aware of our body is working on this part. As soon as oxygen supply is cut, it will lead us to death. Okay. So Vikram, your answer was absolutely correct, and that is carbon monoxide. Option number B will be the correct answer. Next we have producer gas is highly poisonous. Okay, we have discussed this question, right? Yeah. So it is not advisable to sleep under the tree at night because tree release what? Now this is the combination of chemistry and bio, both. So let's see who can answer this. Answer please. It is not advisable to sleep under the tree at night because trees release what? So is it carbon dioxide, oxygen, carbon monoxide or sulfur dioxide? It's a very simple one. But since it is asked in the examination, that too CPU examination, so I have kept in CGL also. So Vikramaditya is saying, sir, it will release CO2. But you must be wondering, sir, trees actually release oxygen. How this carbon dioxide can be the answer? So please remember, when we are talking about the daytime, at that time, oxygen is actually released. But in the night, what is happening? The maximum content which is released is carbon dioxide. Now, what will happen if I'll talk about these trees? If I'll try to sleep over here, what can happen? If I'm sleeping, because I am also releasing the carbon dioxide and this tree is also releasing carbon dioxide. So this may lead to suffocation. It may lead to suffocation and it may create several type of issues. So the best answer would be, because we don't want to go in that situation where suffocation or difficulty in breathing will take place. So it is advisable not to sleep under tree during the night time. Now since we are talking about these trees, we have one more question here. When we are talking about a tree, now this is again a question which was asked in SSC examination, not CGL, but yeah, some other examination. If I want to calculate its age, if I want to calculate the age of the tree, how can I calculate it? So Vikram and all the other candidates who are present here in the class, please start answering. These questions are asked, so we must be aware of. If I want to calculate the age of the tree, what is the best way to calculate its age? So do we have any kind of meter or something like that? Yeah, answer please. And everyone who's there in the session, please try to answer this. It is not advisable to sleep under the tree at night because tree release carbon dioxide. We are aware of that. Now, since we are talking about tree, so if I want to calculate the tree's age, what I can do? I can just have a look at the annual rings. Now, you must be wondering, sir, what are these annual rings? See, when these trees are cut, the area which is left, just try to have a look. There are several rings which are made here. And it is said that each ring is representing its 1 year. So if you will try to count the number of rings, yeah, it's not about the circumference actually, Vikramaditya. Vikram, obviously you're talking about this part, but these rings which are present here, these are known as annual rings. I'll write for you. These rings are actually known as annual rings. Okay. Now, since we were talking about these part, that is several issues. Now, there are two of the important things which are again and again asked in the examination. What if cadmium enters into your body? What if cadmium enters into a body? What will be the issue if cadmium enters into a body? My next question will be, what if mercury enters into a body? Mercury. There are two questions. One is from cadmium and one is from mercury. So can you answer this? If cadmium will enter into a body, what is going to happen? What kind of issue will be that? If cadmium enters into a body, so there's a issue which is known as what? That is Itai. This is the disease, this is the issue which is there if cadmium enters into a body. What if I talk about mercury? If mercury enters into a body, there would be the issue which is known as mini-meta. All these questions are very, very important. Do not forget. What is it? That is mini-meta. Please remember, if we are talking about cadmium, that is Itai. If I am talking about mercury, that is mini-meta. Do not forget. Now, since we have discussed about this part, we have some other questions as well. In the previous question, totally right, Vikram. In the previous question, we were talking about hemoglobin. right? So if I want to know, is my body perfect or not? So what should be the value of this particular hemoglobin? Now this is from bio part, but since all these questions are linked, we are discussing here itself. If I'm talking about hemoglobin, what is the perfect number for the male in the percentage, you can tell me, and what is the perfect number for the female, so that we can say that we are having sufficient amount of hemoglobin, and this is asked in the examination. Let me write for the blood part. For the blood it is around 5 to 6 liters. It is around 5 to 6 liters. But what if I talk about hemoglobin? If you're not aware, you can just tell me, but I want the answer. These questions are repeatedly asked. See, if I talk about this male part, please remember it would be around 14%. And if I talk about this female part, it would be around 12%. But the issue comes when, the issue is going to come when it would be lesser than 7. If its value goes lesser than 7, it will create what? It will create an issue which is known as anemia. And we say that that particular person is anemic. So anemia is the issue which comes when you have its value lesser than 7. So Vikram, you are totally correct. That was the range. That was 13 to 16. On an average, I can talk about 14. Okay. So yes, this was all about blood part. Next, moving forward to the next question now. Yeah, before moving forward, let me tell you, we have exam for official application which has live paid courses with the test series, free subject wise and topic wise quiz with the report card. Then we have job alert, admit card, examination date, all exam previous year PDF with the solution. Then we have free all India scholarship test with the report card, topic wise free live classes, free full length and sectional test with the report card, free exam wise PDF with practice at PDF. Then if I'll talk about the current affairs, weekly, monthly, daily current affairs, and yes, unlimited subject wise practice set questions. Now, if I'll talk about its downloading, how you can do it, just go to the Play Store, tap Exampur over there, click on the install button, click on the open part, just do the registration and start using it. Okay, so we have next question now. Dash fiber is used in making bulletproof vest. Now this question I have asked second time. Why? Because this is very important. I don't want anyone to go wrong for this part. This particular question is repeatedly asked, so I have actually asked this twice. So yes, I want the answer, and this answer will come in the super fast manner, I know. But need answer, please. Answer please. Dash fiber is used for making bulletproof vest. And in yesterday's class, Vikram was telling something about it also, I guess. That is, it was used by India, US Army was something like that, na? You were saying. So yeah, answer please. Obviously, it will prevent bullet from piercing. I guess I'm getting comments quite late again. Answer, please. Yeah, so I guess I'm getting comments quite late, so I'll just directly tell this answer. So the fiber which is used in making bulletproof vest is what? It is actually Kevlar, right? Now, I had to tell something about these rods. If I'll talk about tube lights. So tube lights are actually having phosphorus over there. That is, phosphorus is actually there in these tube lights. Apart from phosphorus, we even have mercury vapors. Now, I guess everyone has done this experiment in our childhood days. When we used to throw that tube light, everyone has experimented by breaking it. When we used to break the tube light, white fumes used to come out. Remember that part? Those white fumes that used to come out were what? They were actually mercury vapors. And yes, they were very toxic. We were not aware at that time, but if it would have entered into our body, it could have led to a serious injury. That is, we may even die as well. Remember, I was talking about mini meta. Now, in the similar manner, if I'll talk about these matchboxes. So in the matchbox, we have a part in sideways which is actually a rough surface, right? From where we are lighting up that particular stick. So this particular part, This particular part is made up of what? So please remember, this is again made up of phosphorus. That you have seen that reddish structure. That reddish structure is what? That is again made up of phosphorus. Do not forget. Next, in the similar manner, again, if I'll talk about our bones, so our bones are made up of what? So our bones are actually made up of calcium and phosphorus. Now, since we are talking about this part, okay, I'll write calcium because this one is more important. Otherwise, you'll get confused. Now, since I'm talking about calcium, please remember this calcium which is present in our bones, you can directly relate it with your teeth as well. And if I'll talk about teeth, so for the toothpaste which we are using, this is asked in the examination. It was asked in CGL examination. If I'm talking about a toothpaste, when we are talking about this toothpaste, please remember here fluoride is present, and if this fluoride is in more quantity, it will lead to issue. If it is in lesser quantity, then also it leads to issue. But this toothpaste actually contains fluoride, which is very important for our tooth to remain strong. Now there's a question which I want to ask you, since we are talking about these toothpaste and bones. So which is the hardest part or hardest material which is present on our teeth? Hardest material which is present on our teeth. Can you answer that part? Let's see who will answer this. Now this is again important. Hardest part which is present on our teeth, that is known as what? Hardest material which is present on the teeth, or hardest part which is present in our teeth, or the question may be in another way, hardest substance in our body. Very good. That is tooth's enamel. That is tooth's enamel. Okay, moving forward now, some more things are there which are important. If I'll talk about these tranquilizers, I'll write here. We are talking about drugs. Yeah. First of all comes tranquilizers. Then we have histamine. Then we have antacids. Then what is left? We have antiseptics. Okay. So first of all, let's complete this part. Yes. Who can tell me the example of this tranquilizer? Tranquilizer is helping in what? Vikram, any idea? Tranquilizers? Then I'll go with the histamine, antacids, antiseptics. Sometimes it happens when we talk about fever. In the fever, what happens? In the fever, our body's temperature actually increases, right? Now, what do we want to do? Obviously, we want to feel safe and sound. We want to feel fresh. We want to be, in short, I can say in the computer's language, we want to be error-free. That is, no particular issue must be there. So, can you give the name of any of the medicine which is tranquilizer? For surgery, if you are talking about those surgery, I'll write for you. I think you're talking about that anesthetic. So that anesthesia is different thing. Is different thing. So answer please. Answer. Waiting for the answer. See, if I'll talk about these tranquilizers, please remember what is going to happen if I want to decrease the temperature of the body. I'll be using that. If I'm talking about histamine, where I can use it? Histamines are actually used when we want to release ourselves from the allergy. If I want to relieve myself from the allergy, what I can do? I can have histamines. If I want to just maintain the acidity level of my body, that is, I want to control the acidic level. So what I'll do? I'll use antacids. That is, anti of acids, antacids. Where we can discuss about ENO and all. So yeah, totally correct. The name I wanted was what? Paracetamol. Remember? So now you can relate that part. Okay. So antacid that I was talking about, it is doing what? It is actually maintaining the level of the acids in a body. Antacid. From the name acid itself, we can relate it. Now talking about antiseptics, we discussed about Dettol. We can discuss about Savlon. What are they doing? They are actually helping in killing the microbes. That is, microorganisms are actually killed with the help of these antiseptics. Now if I'll talk about anesthetic agents. What is it doing? anesthetic agents are the one which are actually helping in removing the sensation. In Hindi we call it sunn kar dena, right? That is, it is removing the sensation to the pain. Got my point? So that is what? That is anesthesia which we are using. I guess Vikram, you told in the starting that's for the surgery, anesthesia. That was actually relieving you from the pain. But please remember there's a difference between painkiller and this anesthesia. I'll write here. If I talk about this painkiller is different thing and anesthetics are different thing. Anesthesia is actually used when we are talking about dentist and all. When they are actually pulling your tooth, you don't want that pain. So that sensation will go. What is this painkiller? When there's a pain in any part of your body, any part, whether it is head, whether it is leg, for getting relief from that pain, you are using painkillers. Obviously, it seems one and the same thing, but functioning is quite different. So I guess all these points are clear. If these are clear, we can move forward. All these things are clear now. So actually these things I had to tell you. Now let's come to the acidic part. That's great. Histamine. So Vikram, you are doctor or you're from the doctor's family, I guess, huh? Okay. Now talking about these acids. So if I talk about acids, first of all, I want to know the acid which is present in these lemon. Which is that particular acid which is present in the lemon? Can you tell me? Acid which is present in the lemon. So I'll write for you. I'll directly write the name of the acids. So first of all, we'll talk about formic acid. Formic acid. Then we'll talk about citric acid. Then we can talk about lactic acid. Then we can talk about butyric acid. Which one is left? Formic is done, citric is done, lactic is done, butyric is done. If there is any other acid which you want to know, just let me know. Okay. If you have name of any other acid. So yes, if I talk about the formic acid is where here you can talk about ants. It is asked again and again in the examination. Not only ants, apart from the ants, honey bees can be the answer. Honey bee also. Now talking about the citric acid. Here you can talk about any of the fruit where you can even go with this orange, right? So, so Kumund has given the answer, so it would be cheetee, that is ant. Then lemon, curd, okay. So you have given the answer in the sequence order. So not only lemon, you can talk about orange as well, right? Now talking about this lactic acid, very good. You were talking about curd and talking about butyric acid. So what is butyric acid? You can talk about here butter. Now one more important acid which I'll write on another part of the screen, that is oxalic acid. Oxalic acid. Now this one is again important. It is asked in the examination. Please remember, this oxalic acid is present in tomato, no doubt. Apart from tomato, one more thing is there. What's that? Let's see who can give this answer. Oxalic acid. Can you give this answer? Come on, Vikram. If I talk about oxalic acid, no doubt it is present in tomato. Tomato. Apart from tomato, can you give me one more option? And please remember, this oxalic acid is the one which creates what? It creates calcium oxalate. And this calcium oxalate is actually the cause of kidney stones. Or we can say that kidney stone is actually formed because of this part. So yes, when kidney stone is there, doctor recommends not to eat tomato. But apart from tomato, we have one more thing which is very, very beneficial for our body. But since it has oxalic acid, so in kidney stones, we can't have it. And that is your spinach. You know spinach? In Hindi, we call it palak. So yeah, please remember this part. Do not forget, this oxalic acid does what? It creates calcium oxalate. Now, because of which there would be kidney stone. And this is present in tomato. Apart from tomato, you can get it in the spinach as well. Okay. So, yes, we have written all the important ones, all the important acids which are repeatedly asked. One more is left. I was talking about which one is left. Is there any other acid which you want to know? If you want to ask, please let me know in the comment section. If not, we can move forward. All these acids are clear? Okay, let's move forward to the next question. What is the full form of PVC? We have discussed it yesterday also. What is the full form of PVC? We have 4 options here. Answer please. Answer please. Full form of PVC. Full form of PVC please. It's simple. I guess I'm getting your comments quite late, so I'll directly tell you it is what? It is polyvinyl chloride. Now, we have already discussed about those acids. Now my question will be from basis part. Now let's talk about basis. So my first question is, sodium hydroxide is used where? NaOH. Sodium hydroxide is used where? Let's see who can answer this part. And yes, I want answer from everyone. Sodium hydroxide is used where? Sodium hydroxide. NaOH. Please remember, if you are not aware of this part, it will be used for making of soaps. And not only soaps, you can talk about detergents as well. Fine. So yes, Udbhav has given the correct answer there. Great, great. Okay. Now talking about potassium hydroxide. Who can give this answer? Where is this potassium hydroxide used? Waiting. Yeah. So Vikram Aditya Singh sir, bleach. Okay. So again, I'll tell you, if I'm talking about the liquid soaps, you have seen those liquid soaps, not only for the dishwasher, even for the body wash also we are using. So that would be what? You can talk about potassium hydroxide there. And obviously most of the soaps are there which are not useful for our body. It may create several issues which even relates to the skin diseases. So we must be aware of what kind of soaps we are using. Okay, now if I'll talk about this calcium hydroxide. So can you tell me what is another name for this calcium hydroxide? Calcium hydroxide. What is the another name for this calcium hydroxide? No one? It's the basic one. We use it. Actually, we used to use it in our days when we were quite younger, or we'll say when we were 2 or 3 years old. At that time, those particular paints which are Apex paints, Asian paints, those were not as those common, right? So I'll just try to relate that with this particular examples. Yes, you can talk about slaked lime over here. Slaked lime. Fine. So yes, these are the important ones which are again and again asked in the examination. So I have discussed it. And now what we'll do from the next class onwards, we'll be keeping mixed questions. Mixed questions, yeah, that's right, Vikram. Slaked lime. So yes, what I was saying, from the next class, that is on the Sunday, we are going to have marathon session of the 2 hours. From Monday, we'll be having mixed question of the science part, that is physics, chemistry and bio all mixed together. And then we'll start discussing with each other. And yes, then we'll go in the depth. Now, the question level will obviously increase because comments are coming quite slow, sorry. So we have discussed all the basic part, all the previous year questions, but now we are going to increase the level and it will go on the next level. Now we will be discussing all the type of questions which are asked in the examination. Nothing will be left now. Okay. So no issues, Vikram, but it's good that you have given the answer. Day after tomorrow, join everyone in the marathon part for the 2 hours, and from the Monday, complete science revision on the daily basis. Okay. So till then, bye-bye everyone. Please take care, and in case you have any doubt, comment section is always there for you. Just let me know. So bye-bye everyone. Please take care.